Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Back with another episode of Deathmark. We're about to read this suspicious looking paper to Seiko. Isn't Seiko the girl that died in like corpse party? Got her head chopped off by piano wire? I think. I don't know. I think that's how she died. I'll dispel all of your heartache. So forget that horrible incident and take your quiet rest up in heaven. An incident? The poster I saw on the telephone booth mentioned something like that too. Could they be connected? I mean, I guess. It'd be weird that it's mentioning an incident now and there's a thing in the thingamaboob. I asked Christy what she thinks. I mean, you're in the news, you should know. Christy looks deep in thought. What is it? Oh, nothing. Well, we've checked out all the boxes, so let's head back to the mansion. Something still bugs me, though. Yeah, me too. We should probably head back for now. New info was added. The third phone box. How was I supposed to know, like... Oh. No, I want the memo. What, is there a clue in here? Because if there's a clue in here, then I'll just be mad at myself for not reading it. With the end of the 90s, online infrastructure had advanced the popularity of a certain widely used BBS. Hanayome is an urban legend that sprung up from that BBS. It goes as follows. Certain telephone booths in each city will let you talk to ghosts. If you go inside one and wait, the phone will suddenly ring. Pick it up and you'll hear a strange lip smacking noise. A woman will ask, "Have you seen it?" Rumors say you're supposed to reply with, "I haven't seen it." She'll respond with, "What do you want to see?" Someone actually followed the instructions and was able to find a missing pet. What a strange tale. A lot of people are interested in this ghost, wanting to find things or people who've become lost, but not a single one has ever mentioned getting a mark from her. But the circumstances seem to imply the spirit gave the mark to Eita and Suzu. Plus, why is this spirit called a bride? If she appears as a bride, then someone must have seen her. 3 phone boxes in each city let you speak with the ghost. One seems to be the one Eita and Suzu used. It shouldn't take long to reach the other 2 by car. I'm concerned about the statues stolen from each shrine too. If Hanayome can really tell us where they are, that would save us a lot of time. There's only one way to find out. In the second booth is a poster looking for info on a crime that happened nearby. The phone rings while I'm distracted, just like the rumors. When I pick up a woman answers, smacking her lips. I can't get info on the statues from her. For some reason, she's behaving different from what we're told to expect. There's one more phone booth. We better check it out too. Hanayome is acting even more strangely than before. She seems anxious about being seen, or eyes in general. It's impossible to be sure since it's only over the phone. Plus, the note we found outside the booth is disconcerting. To Seiko, I'll dispel all of your heartache, so forget that horrible incident and take your quiet rest up in heaven. There's no note, so how the fuck would I have known? I is mad. I guess technically these are actual like urban legends in Japan. So maybe it's part of the urban legend in Japan. Maybe that would have helped. Hey, Mr. Yashiki. You know those posters in that bit of stationery we found? Could they be linked to Hanayome? She might have been someone who was caught up in the incident and killed. And if that's the case, then... Chrissy turns towards the shelves with files full of articles on criminal cases. The dates were 5 years ago, right? Then there might be an article on what happened here in these files. We could use more help. Maybe Eita and Suzu can give us a hand. Go ahead and call them over. All 4 of us began reading through files. The clippings range from the smallest dispute to the most heinous crimes in each city. But they're all dated 5 years ago or earlier. Did they get stored in the garage because they're so old? After a while, I found it! The victim's name is Seiko. The date is February, 5 years ago. Gotta be it. Christy lays the file out on the desk and we all peer at it. Again? The file has articles about an incident that happened 5 years ago. The victim's name was Seiko Hasegawa. Apparently, she committed suicide in the forest by H Castle on the eve of her wedding. She was in her dress when she was found. Suzu, you probably shouldn't read anymore. It's pretty bad. Thanks, Eita, but I want to know more about Hanayome. I feel like I need to do this. She's cringing, but she sounds determined. Between this and sneaking out at night, she's a surprisingly brave kid. It's rather odd for someone her age. I remember now. This happened back when I used to be a news anchor. Christy mutters just loud enough to hear. Then, do you know the whole story? It was horrible. It's hard to recount. A woman was abducted by a gang while she was walking her dog. They brought her to the forest and assaulted her. People found her battered and staggering along the road the next day. The dog was run over and killed near the forest when it chased after them. Maybe that's why we heard a dog near that phone booth? That's horrifying. Yeah, but that wasn't the end of Seiko Hasegawa's misfortune. Eita somberly cuts in. His usual grin is nowhere to be found. It's well known in some circles, but her assault was photographed. The pictures were sent to her fiancé. They threatened to make them public if he didn't pay up. I heard he gave them a ton of money to get the photos and the negatives. Is that true, Christy? Yeah, I heard that as well. Because of all that, Miss Seiko had a mental breakdown, and in the end, she hung herself. She'd been a serious, honest woman, so she couldn't bear it. A cruel fate of a woman attacked before her wedding. We fall silent as that reality weighs on us. Suzu timidly speaks up, her face pale. Maybe there's a connection between what happened to Miss Hasegawa and Hanayome's phone boxes? According to the article, the incidents that wrecked her life took place near each phone box. She was abducted by the park and assaulted by the rest area. She was found wandering near the parking lot by A Highway. The phone booths connect Hanayome and Seiko Hasegawa. The coincidence sends a shiver down my spine. So that note we found by the telephone booth, did Seiko's fiancé write it? Most likely. What's strange is that it was there and not where she committed suicide. Did Hanayome put it there? Maybe she was telling us something. I have no clue how spirits think, but if Suzu's right, then that note is an important clue for us. I seem to recall Miss Seiko's fiancé was a famous musician. As a result, the case was widely publicized at the time. It happened right after they returned from a romantic trip to Greece. This would have been important to know before! Old ladies were sobbing about how it made it all the more tragic, and the poor dog they brought on the trip died heroically as well. Where's the fiancé now? Well, he began acting strange due to the shock and then went missing. Some say her suicide was to follow him. But he wasn't the only one who disappeared. It sounds like all of the culprits went missing too. I mean, yeah, they better. Fuck them. You hear about that online too? Well, something like that. The internet isn't the same back then. There were only hubs. Hubs? Like pre-internet chat rooms? Everyone was talking about it on the occult hub back then. There was one person in the community who knew way too much. I think he was one of the culprits. He brought up a bunch of things like taking pictures and all that. Ugh, back to this forest. I don't like this forest. This forest is scary. I don't want to be in this forest no more. And I bet those were pictures of the assault. Yeah, that's right. After they were finished, those assholes got a camera out and took pictures of her face soaked with tears. The whole time she yelled, "Don't look, don't look." Oh, so that's why she doesn't like eyes. Don't look, huh? Hanayome has an extreme reaction to being seen by others. He kept going on about it night after night until he suddenly stopped posting. People who knew him said they couldn't contact him at all. These guys deserved to die, but it's still really creepy, you know? I feel like Hanayome is the most like harmless of all the ghosts on this list, and now some assholes got her like killing people. Suddenly a line from the note pops into my head. I'll dispel all of your heartache. Hey Christy, do you happen to know exactly where in the forest Seiko killed herself? I was a reporter at the time, so I did go to the location. But that was 5 years ago, so I don't exactly remember. I feel like I went west from that big arch at the entrance. So, you're really going to go? Yeah, we might as well. We might be able to figure out something about Hanayome. Fine, I understand. I've had my fill of that forest, but I suppose we have no other leads. New info! I'm gonna go into the mansion and then I'm gonna go save because I survived. And I'm gonna talk to Mary because I like Mary. I tell Mary about Seiko Hasegawa. I don't know why I hesitated on her name right there. What a sad woman. Her grudge against the world turned her into Hanayome. If this is indeed the case, you may find a clue in the forest where she committed suicide. I kind of want to take Christy because Christy knows where she died. And that's what we're looking for. But I don't know. I don't trust Christy. She's gonna abandon me when I need her. But I haven't found all the clues yet, so I ain't gonna have to fight the boss yet. This is more awkward than I thought. Being out alone with someone who, until recently, was planning to kill herself. Do you have something you want to say? She notices right away. Was I being that obvious? No, not really. It's fine. You don't have to hide it. You're wondering if I still want to kill myself, aren't you? Is this a woman's intuition? No, maybe I'm just crap at hiding things. Don't worry, I don't anymore. People hate it when things are forced on them, right? Doesn't matter what it is. I can trust you, right? Yeah, at least for now. Here's hoping she keeps feeling the same, at least while we're together. Ow! Just then the tires hit a bump in the road. I can see a square gray object in the back seat through the rear view mirror. Is that thing back there yours? No, that's Eita's CD radio cassette player. Huh. Why something like that? He said we might need music during the drive, then went and put it here himself. But we don't have any CDs or tapes. Should I turn on the radio? No, I'll pass. Doesn't the car have a radio? The conversation grinds to a halt after that. It's like there's an invisible person between us. After falling silent a while, Christy finally speaks up again. It only makes sense for the conversation to turn one direction. It's rather worrisome, don't you think? After all this time, they don't know. Who doesn't know what? Those two. They think that spirits just help you find things. What a naive fairy tale. Yeah, Christy is exactly right. You quickly become disillusioned once you actually face the spirit. But thinking about it, wouldn't that be the best? Christy looks at me in shock. Wait, what are you saying? I just mean, our lives are on the line here. Would you seriously stop joking around? Sorry. She's furious at me, but it looks like she was telling the truth about not wanting to die. She's got too much pride. Someone like that would never commit suicide. What's so funny? Nothing. Will we make it back again? Or not? I stare at the headlights and contemplate where we're going. I need to turn on the lights, but they're too far away. This archway again. That sigh was pretty deep. I can't believe we're here again. At least I feel better knowing he's not around anymore. I almost remind her about Hanayome, but I stop myself from opening my mouth. I don't want to break her tenuous calm. Okay, it's supposed to be west of the gate. I look to the west of the gate again, but there's no sign of a trail. Strange. Maybe I'm remembering wrong. When I came here researching an article, there was a path to the west. Le gasp. Suddenly, Chrissy's face stiffens. What's wrong? I feel cold all of a sudden. What is... No! Oh wait, is that a dog? I think that's a dog. I follow her gaze and see a low shadow dashing out from the darkness. Doesn't look like a dog, but maybe it's a dog. It certainly seems like one. It kicks up the dirt with 4 legs, but it looks off somehow. Its fur is long and disheveled, and from certain angles, its face looks human. Yeah, it does. The dog stares at us, growling softly. What is it? Are you trying to tell us something? You're being too gentle with it. You need to sound firm when you talk to a dog. Act like its master. Weaker dogs like to bark, right? So ignore it and just stay quiet. So ignore it and stay quiet, huh? I guess that's true for humans too. Powerful people tend to ignore others. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. The dog barks loudly, then vanishes into the western underbrush. The moment it's gone, the chill in the air dissipates like it was never there. Was it trying to guide us? Maybe. I shine the flashlight on the spot where the dog disappeared. A now familiar pain shoots through my wrist. Please don't change no more. Ow. I'm gonna die soon. There's probably not much time left. We better hurry. Let's check the bushes over there. New info was added. Investigating the forest again. Because we're not done with this creepy fucking ass forest. There's a thicket of trees next to the gate. With the dog gone, I push my way into the underbush. That dog was definitely not a dog, but also definitely a dog. I spot the traces of what used to be a path. You could barely call it one at this point. It must have been the closed hiking trail. The path goes west from the gate. That's right. I remember now. This is the path I took before. That dog, was it trying to show this to us? Who knows? Anyway, let's get going. But I don't want to get going, so I'm going to cut this episode here. So thank you for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe and share this video with your friends. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!